most of these are assigner cells. I think you remember, assigner cells are described as pyramidal, arranged in circles or round clusters, correct? Now, on the other hand, you find in between assigner cells your islets of Langerhans. So let's look at this under low power. Now, the islets, on the other hand, are described as being made up of masses of cells. There you go, like this one here. You can identify a little by the staining. If you look closely in this, they are stained paler in contrast to the assigner cells. And then again, if you look at this, you will see under high power that this is made up of a group of cells. In contrast to your assigner or assigni, and so ito po isang assigni, and look at this, that will be your islet. You have here a group or cluster of cells. Maybe a side question should just ask you which cell produces so-and-so hormone, and which cell is located at the center, which cell is located at the periphery, and so on. Okay? So that will be what you will see as far as your islets of Langerhans is concerned. Next slide is your testis, which is slide 66. We've seen this slide again before, and what we identified here are your seminiferous tubules. All of them are your seminiferous tubules. You can actually see even in low power, the cells in between, they are dark staining, highly eosinophilic cells. Here you go, those cells. These are your Leydig cells. Let's look at them under low power. And po, darkly staining cells in between your seminiferous tubules. Again. There you go. And those cells over here, highly eosinophilic. But on high power, you will see large, highly eosinophilic cells. Okay? So those are your Leydig cells. All of this, Leydig cells. Okay? And of course, as well known, this produces testosterone by the stimulation of your interstitial cell stimulating hormone. The next slide is the ovary. Slide number 73. Again, let me remind you, you have 273 slides. You pick up again the one with the 3 structures. And again, if you're going to study this, look for a mature grafted follicle. Okay. So again, just to identify the parts, you have here the follicle, an entire mature grafted follicle. You have an ovum surrounded by your follicular cell. Now let's look at this under low power. There you go. Your oocyte or your ovum and your follicular cell. This is what we identify as your granulosa cell. Now you can easily see the basal lamina. Note it's quite distinct, separating your granulosa cells from the outer layer. Now, on the outer layer, remember we wanted to identify theca folliculi. So let's go look at this under high power. There you go. This is granulosa cell, and right after that is your basal lamina, and the cells right after that will be your theca interna. Okay. Theca interna. Yan po mabibilog na cell na yan. Okay? Now, once you find cells that are spindle in shape, like this one here, okay, this now represents your theca externa. And again, by the stimulation of your follicle stimulating hormone, we know that it is the theca interna that produces androstenedione, which is converted into estradiol by the action of the aromatase enzyme in your granulosa cell. Remember, the androstenedione passes through the basal lamina into the granulosa cells, where the aromatase acts on your androstenedione and is thrown back into your theca, where it is secreted as estrogen. Okay? So this is one of the things we'd like you to look for when you study your ovary. The other one I'd like you to look for, again turn back to low power, is your corpus luteum. So after ovulation, your housing of the follicle is now just the one remaining, and it's now turned into a corpus luteum, or a structure that looks like this, parang cloud formation, right? So look at that. So this is now your corpus luteum. If you study corpus luteum under low power, and then at high power, you can easily differentiate the two lutein cells. Okay, these cells over here, which are plugged, pale staining, quite large. These are your granulosa lutein cells, which of course at this stage produces the estrogen. On the other hand, the other cell, the darker one, smaller cells, are your theca lutein, which now produces your progesterone. Okay? So yan po, ang two cells of your, these are the two cells of your corpus luteum, the bigger, paler staining granulosa lutein, and the smaller, darker staining theca lutein. Last line is line 84, which is the placenta. You've seen placenta before. What we identified are the floating villi. Again, this is a term, placenta. These are floating villi, or your chorionic villi. And on low power, you can say which contains maternal blood. Of course, we say that outside the villi is maternal blood, like this one here. And within the villi, of course, is fetal blood. Now, you identify these dark, large cells. These are now your syncytial trophoblasts. And we said that these are the ones that secrete your human chorionic gonadotropin. So, yan po, ha? So these are the things we'd like you to identify today.